Welcome, everybody. You are watching your 2021 Dynamic Discs Open in Emporia, Kansas. My name is Kevin Jones, and joining me today is my good friend and teammate, Luke Humphries. Luke, how are we doing, man?
Good as always, Kev. Sitting here next to you in the GKRV. We've got a 988 rated player, I believe, for you today. Justin Rosak playing with the big boys. Paul's and Colton. Paul's looking to make a move. This is third card action that we have for you today.
That's right. We got third card, so, second round of the event. Everybody here has a great chance to make huge moves today. Hole 1, extremely difficult par 4, 782 feet. You can pipe a drive down the middle. That's probably going to be the most taken play, but you can also go out wide to the left with a sidearm or an Anheuser shot.
Yeah, that's right. Played the most difficult on the course yesterday. The winds are up today, and it's also playing hard. First on the box. He's got a stroke on the card. Probably a little bit nervous. I mean, his heart had to be pumping. I love the pineapple shirt, though. That is solid style.
Nice.
By Justin.
Yeah, really important to make it down this gap on this hole. Otherwise, you make this hole really long.
Thank you.
As Paul takes a moment of silence for Ricky Wysocki's sister, Lauren Wysocki, everybody in the disc golf community, truly, I can speak for us all that our hearts go out to that family.
Paul's drive fights through. He's playing some good golf under the circumstances.
From Huntington Beach, California, sponsored by
And a man that we don't really need to introduce to you. Five-time world champ.
McBeth.
I like that shirt. It's like a flag, kind of American flag. It's red, white, and blue.
Or bomb pop.
I'm going bomb pop. Now that you say it, wow.
It wasn't I wasn't the one that said it, actually, but somebody said it to me, and I'm like, it's kind of.
Who doesn't love bomb pop, though? It's not like a negative thing. And that shot, oh my gosh. This is great. Just don't, okay. Yeah. The footing will be interesting. That's what always happens down there. It's the shortest route to the basket, though, so there is some advantage there. You're going to be throwing out of bounds, though, for sure.
That shot is exactly what you want to see from Paul, though. ...2020 Waco Open champion, Colton Montgomery. The nice laced fairway drive. A little bit safer than Paul's, but for that reason, he'll be a little bit further from the basket.
Yeah, he'll have a flat run-up, though, so a couple advantages for both guys. Colton's so good at the fairway drive or straight shot. That's kind of what won him Waco, I guess, that 9 under in the last 9 down the stretch. He was throwing that PD of his, the Lone Howl, just making it do its thing. As we see Justin, yeah.
That shot hurts right there. Going out of bounds on your second shot. Third shot's not going to be much easier.
When you hit that tree early, the landing zone for like a 400-foot shot is so small.
You're exactly right. It's so small, so hard to hit. Paul doing it beautifully there.
Totally blind. It's really hard to visualize the shot from where you're standing. The landing zone is just like, all you see is the water behind it, and you got to trust that it's there, Another great shot.
It is. That one was really testing that water out of bounds over there. This is going to be an extremely awkward run-up from Paul. He played it exactly like he wanted to, though. That slope right there leading to the road really helps keeping discs in bounds.
All right, so he slowed it down.
Unbelievable body control from Paul right there. Oh my goodness, that is an absolutely amazing shot.
Ridiculous, man.
He had to be really light on his feet because he's going downhill. So if he plants really hard, he's going to slip. This is a crucial shot, honestly, from Justin.
Come on. Okay.
That's awesome. Getting him a look at Birdie. He's got to have a tree in the way right there, but
yeah, and the pond below it. I don't know if you're a little nervous, that could come into your mind for sure. Nice soft throw from Paul. He doesn't jump putt from like outside 40 feet or something like that. He just like goes to that throw. He's got a good story behind that.
Well, he's really good at it. He's one of the best at looking at the basket and like frisbee tossing it straight forward.
Oh, no.
No way. That looks like it stayed in bounds there. That was a putt for 5. Now he's got a very similar, but different because it's uphill this time. That's going to be just off for 6. So
both of those putts looked great, honestly.
This got to be the hardest hole on the course, right, Luke?
Definitely was. Yeah, and that was a 7 for Justin. This one coming at basically a whole stroke over par. That crazy tee shot, along with just a small landing zone for any shots approaching the green.
There's just not an easy shot to be had on the hole.
I love it, though. Fantastic starting hole.
Couldn't agree more.
Let's get it going.
This is the Jones Gold layout. So we're playing in Jones Park here in Emporia, Kansas. They have 2 courses, an East course and a West course, and this is the combined course made for National Tour events, made by Eric McCabe. Hole 2, first of 4 par 4s on the entire course at 351 feet. OB on the right side, OB on the left side as well. You can attack it up the middle, sidearm, or hyzer on the right side as well.
We had a headwind left to right wind going on, making this sidearm pretty tricky. I think Paul did the right thing and just threw it super wide. Ended up short. He'll be circled to about 50 feet.
Distance control on this hole is extremely tough today, given the wind. It's hard to tell how much your disc is going to carry or drop.
This looks like a straight shot from Paul.
That's coming up short. Common mistake, though, especially today. We are seeing much more wind, which is going to affect drives as well as putting. It's just going to change it up entirely.
Yeah, he probably felt like if he threw it any harder and it just held up, it could cruise out of bounds long, easy.
And it could have. Colton doing a similar line to Paul, testing that early ceiling right there. Gets through, though.
Wow.
Much higher.
Okay.
Great shot.
Let's get the replay on that one. Gabe down there with the slow-mo. Stable putter, bouncing in the wind. Hooking up just the right time. Ooh, that extra cut roll. Super fast even on slow-mo. That's amazing. Great camera work by the GK guys.
This is Justin after starting with a tough triple bogey. Would love to score birdie here. This looks like it might be leaking out to the left, though.
Chill.
Okay. That's safe.
Yeah, that was definitely going out of bounds.
It was good action off that tree for sure. Paul McBeth from just outside circle 2 here. Looks like he's got a little bit of a headwind. Trying to glide it. What a beautiful attempt.
Straight up. Stand still from 50 at least. Okay, Paul going on the other side of the tree.
Oh, man.
Oh, 2 points for the leaner. Nice. All right, this is about a 40-footer. Maybe 44. I like his putt, though. Super confident. Hadn't seen him play before. This will be my first time, but I mean, great stroke. Throwing good putts so far.
Yeah, it's going to be useful in the wind today. It's really nice to have a nice flat putt. I mean, Paul McBeth's putt right there was a perfect example as well as the exact style putt you want to have for a day like today.
Yeah, this hole, 0.3 of a stroke under par yesterday, played 1/10 of a stroke over par today. So a lot trickier with that wind that they had.
Hole 3 is a par 4 at 630 feet. Your first shot's going to land right by this tree that we're just passing, and then you're having a second shot over the OB area, but it really doesn't come into play very much. Those 2 trees on the left side, though, on your approach shot do come into play for forehands, but backhands and straight shots are pretty much wide open.
Yeah, you just don't want to saw this one off super left short OB or chuck it straight into the hedge line long OB.
Yeah,
which isn't OB, excuse me.
Right. Long is not OB, and to go long in this hole would be about 430 feet of travel in the air. To hit the perfect landing zone, though, 400 feet. This looks very not aggressive from Paul. And that is a solid spot right there. Not testing any OB.
No, not at all. 630 feet. It's a pretty good angle from short left as well. You're not flirting with many trees.
Looks good from Ulibarri as well.
Right next to each other.
Yesterday we saw Ulibarri play a really nice round for his first round out here. He really just didn't test many OBs, really chipped off the tee and then chipped onto the green and secured a lot of easy birdies.
All these guys playing pretty short, kind of giving themselves a different angle. The landing zone that you're looking for is kind of up over by that tree, is it not?
It is. I think that's the closest that you can get to the hole, but where these guys are is scoring. The thing is, they're facing a headwind right now. Colton's shot looks to be...
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that looked to be about 380 feet from the pin.
Yeah, he pushed the ceiling perfectly. 2 holes in a row.
This is leaking a little right, but it seems to be coming back. Oh, man.
Wow.
Perfection.
Making it look easy. Similar shot to the one he played on hole 1. Just flip something to flat, let it ride, maybe turned a bit, and then just hooked up perfectly. Paul just a little turned. Looked like he committed to his line, but need a little more hyzer. So the closest any of them would have been was 387. So those shots were coming in from right about 400. And the closest of them all, Justin, it's going to be about 50 feet.
I like that, though. So they went shorter off the tee so that they have more room to hyzer in from the right.
Little half go from Uli.
This is Justin's attempt at his first birdie of the day. This is from outside the circle with wind whipping through the trees, probably.
Man, he's got a smooth stroke, though. It hasn't hit home yet, but I have a feeling it will. I like how his shoes match his bag. It's a solid combo. Also love Colton's putt.
Boom. Another putt that's going to be great on a day like today. Slightly unpredictable wind. It's just nice to have that flat release. Colton definitely has that. Backhand as well. His backhand is going to be great for today.
Yeah. It's just tapping for Paul, but showing some sportsmanship and not banging chains until the tee box beside him is clear.
Yeah, that tee box only, 50 feet away.
Yeah, very close. Paul doing the same. Veteran move from the Pauls. Sparkly with it. He's got that shirt bedazzled. If you see that, if you see the sparkly shirt, it's almost assuredly made by Big Germ.
That's right. Hole 4, par 4 at 530 feet. This is likely one of the easier holes on the course. With only having to travel 530 feet, it is definitely reachable for eagle if you want to get aggressive. But if you want to play for a 3, it's a simple 350-foot shot off the tee.
Yep.
To a nice up shot.
Yep. Just like that. Kind of widens your angle out if you're over there on the left. See a lot of guys throwing forehands. If you get your forehand to skip too far right, you're kind of pinched off from your sight to the basket. Great. That was you in the background saying, "Let's go, Paul."
Got to hype him up after that super difficult tee shot.
All right. Those are all very similar. Be about 250 feet in, probably, but I have a feeling Bushnell is going to tell us, so.
You're probably right.
I know, I keep on guessing and then I've been wrong, so I'm going to, I'm going to ballpark it now so that I'm not wrong as much. Okay.
Justin's tee shot didn't leak too far to the right there. He'll still be able to score. Yuli looking great right here.
Yeah.
The only thing to really think about on this upshot is that OB on the left side. So a lot of times you'll see people just let it saw off to the right side a little too far, and then they'll find themselves in the woods with an obstructed putt.
This doesn't check. Yeah. Sits on the edge.
Pretty prime example right there.
Yeah. And Bushnell telling us that these guys are all about 260 feet away.
The backhand has got to be the preferred play for this upshot. Nice play there from Paul, but there's just a little bit more room for error, and you have the whole landing strip to set your disc down as opposed to crossing over OB. Like this shot right here, but it looks perfect. Nice distance control as well.
There we go, Justin. That'd be a good one to start on. He's got some easy holes coming up. Throw a good tee shot. You put yourself in position. The upshot's not too hard, as we see Paul here from about 20 feet. Ooh. She stays, though.
Just high enough.
Colton with 1 foot in the ivy. Converts. He's looking sharp today. I like that white and black. All right. It almost feels like the wind's picked up. Oh my gosh.
I think you're right. Honestly, it seemed like I saw some stuff blowing in the background there. Yeah. And these greens are tough because the wind can just filter through those trees a little bit unpredictably as opposed to being in an open field.
Have you discovered disc golf yet? Get started on the right track with a prime starter set from Dynamic Discs featuring the Escape, Truth, and Judge. The Escape is a controllable driver that flies straight at low speeds and can handle enough power to get massive distance. The Truth is a straight flying mid-range for maximum control, and the Judge is our most popular putter trusted by our pros around the basket and off the tee. These starter set discs are made in our affordable prime plastic for a great price. We've got more discs, bags, and everything you need to get better at Dynamic Discs.
The recent addition to the bag is the Gatekeeper. I wasn't really liking these so much before this new tournament plastic, but the first few shots I threw with this disc were just under the basket. Feels good for power grip, or if I just want to control it at slower speeds with a pinch grip, right down the middle. It's got a little bit of stability, so it can handle a little wind.
And we're back. Hole 5, par 4. The landing zone you want to be in is about here. You've got a pretty similar distance shot into this green, a little uphill.
Yeah, there's a lot of OB on this hole, but not much of it comes into play. It just shouldn't come into play. This OB that can come into play is leaking it out to the left side. This is great, though, from Colton.
Yep.
Right down the middle.
Stable fairway driver, FD3, I'm guessing.
Yep, it's slightly uphill. These guys are looking to cover about 350 feet on their tee shot.
Is this a putter?
Very likely could be.
Definitely looked like a Luna. He can throw that thing far.
Yeah, he can. Further than most.
It was a good wind, though. You went mid-range, I know. Just a good tailwind. Pure hyzer. Looked good from Uli. That was a Raptor. Justin going mid-range. That's great. All 4 guys in position. You know, this high basket is probably the hardest part about this hole in the current wind.
Yes, it is. This is the crucial shot right here. You want to just scoot your disc right up to the elevated basket and have no putt.
That had to be a pull from Macbeth.
It sure was.
That's about 45 feet. Maybe 50.
That is a scary putt. He'll probably run it, but
yeah,
most would not.
Right? And the guys that do, not going to jam it like him. This needs to go a bit. Solid, but he'll be, is that the, okay, that's the tailwind portion. That's where you want to be, is a little short right, if anything. We talked about it today. You made it a goal of yours to give yourself some downwind putts and to not mess with those headwinders.
Yeah, everybody's different, but I was feeling much better with tailwind. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. It's just good to remember that you should be specific about the portion of the green you want to play into, especially on a windy day.
That's the best shot from our card right there, putting himself at 20 feet. Let's see what Paul does here with this headwind. Wow.
1 inch away. Hit the band and the chains at the same time and just rejected.
This was way shorter than I thought. Then he sneaks it in there.
There we go.
That's what you want to see. You got a tailwind there, and you're putting on an elevated basket, so he's got to put it extra high in the air. That looks like a PA3 out of him.
I did. Yeah, beautiful action on that putt. Had to be the shirt.
You love it. And Yuli's got a similar putt right here.
Bet you 5 he makes it.
What?
Oh, I had a feeling. He's so good around that range. He's been, like you said, putting the best in circle 1 on tour. And then his just outside the circle 2 jump putts are just fantastic. Laser from Colton. All these guys getting one on Mr. McBeth, who threw a fantastic putt from like 50 feet and it could have gone in.
Yeah. That was a close one from Paul. Hole 6 is a par 4 at 565 feet. Great tee shots are going to land just before this ditch here, looking straight through the gap onto the green. If you don't cover all the ground that you need on your tee shot, you can definitely go high on your second shot. So all we've got, you've always got an option.
Yeah, this needs to swing. He might have to go high route.
It's going to be tough to get down that middle gap from there. It just won't be a nice angle that he'll love every time. Whoa. And with the wind coming through the backside of the trees. These guys have a slight headwind on this tee shot. Really short from Paul, but maybe not bad.
That's got to be over the top now, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I just think over the top is such a good play. It's much windier today, which makes it a little harder, but it's still predictable. Looking a little left, but it's probably going to get down in time. That's what you want.
Yeah, all the really good shots over there, at some point we're like, man, if they really skipped, they could be OB, but most of them weren't. They were kind of skipping over. That's perfect position. Paul probably trying to do something similar to that. Giving it good height to give it time to work back left.
That's looking juicy. Huge skip helps. He'll be looking almost straight at the basket from there, I bet. Really getting an idea probably of the distance that he's got to cover here, which is honestly only about 240 feet.
But the trees are... Oh, he had a little gap.
Oh, there's wind up there, though.
Wow.
Going way left. Okay. And he lands it just over the creek.
It was probably over the basket at one point.
Truly was. All right, here's this kind of tough angle here, and that is
no
a mistake from Justin.
He had to cut it tight to get it all the way around the corner. This is position A. This is what you get when you make your tee shot. Finish left like he did, getting that skip. Whoa.
Wow, so he had a faster disc there. That was not a zone. He was trying to have some ground play for sure, but he probably kept it in the air too long on accident. And a severe hyzer angle from Colton there.
He was super pinched and close enough to the trees that it didn't look like he had that over the top angle.
Yeah, at least not a comfortable one.
So they gave him status on the other side of the creek. It must have kicked back into the creek. That's a bummer. Just a little bit off. His form looks good. His releases have been looking good. His putt's looking solid. Playing a little headwind, possibly. Thought it was going to raise up. It didn't. Super gusty day. We've mentioned it. Probably mention it again as we see the flag looking pretty still right now.
Yeah, they're thick flags, though. Kind of deceiving. Just short. Paul had a tailwind there on his putt. He doesn't putt too nose up, so tailwinds don't drop his disc too much. Probably dropped it a little bit there, though.
All right, these guys all taking pars. Interesting.
Yeah, that's not a hole you want to par. Almost all of the par 4s out here, except hole 1, are really birdieable. This hole right here is a par 3 at 355 feet, and it is not one of the easier birdies on the course. There's not really any OB other than OB long. It's kind of hard to find OB. You've got this Mando tree as well.
It'd be a shank to miss the Mando. This looks great, especially if it gets a skip. Not really.
Not as much skip as he would like there.
That's a pretty death-looking putt from there.
It is. These guys have a headwind on this hole right now, so any putt longer than 30 feet is going to be sketchy. The green does slope downwards, so it'll be a downhill putt if you're short.
If I had to have somebody throw this shot for me for, like, I don't know, to save my life or something, it might be him. Uli would have a good chance. He'd be at the top of my list for sure. 355, flip the flat, let it ride and finish. I mean, you're up there too.
He's got that one in the bag for sure. You really want to have some nice juice on your forehand, because by the time it hits the ground...
It's got to sit.
It does. By the time that forehand hits the ground, you want it to have speed left, because you need that flare off to the right at the end of the shot. It's very, very important.
Ooh. Okay. Just clips the barn. That's about 50, 60 feet.
Yeah, that's a 50-footer. Just a death putt from there. Paul, this is a
decent spot to run the basket.
Yeah, 60 feet, but not a death putt. Maybe he has some of that ceiling to deal with. Yeah, he does. Whoa. He thought it was a little bit higher there. Got to be a layup from Colton here. No, Colton don't care. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Colton, I
didn't know he was like that.
Savage. I take it just differently than most people because of my putt, but Colton just has that nice spin putt, as well as Paul. that can just cruise through the wind.
Yeah, he played that one almost perfectly. Right of the basket, slightly nose up, and it just cruised over.
Floater from Paul. Wow. Right next to the basket.
It just sits dead where it lands. That's handy. That's very ball golf thing of him to do in that putting situation.
That's a nice putt. You called it, Luke. You said his putt's looking good. Nothing to worry about. It's a nice putt to knock down.
Yeah, you got to be Kobe Bryant in these situations and say that shoot or shoot. Keep picking a link. The Mamba mentality. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. That is one of my favorite facts is how many shots Michael Jordan and some of those greatest basketball players do miss, you know.
Yeah.
Gives me hope because I miss a lot of shots. Hole 8, par 4, 585 feet. Most players are going to opt for a hyzer over the road on the right side to a nice landing area and then a pretty short, manageable upshot. Sometimes you got to get a little creative, but just a nice low ceiling upshot. This is a basic hole. This is a par 4. We're really wanting to score on this one. Colton hammers stuff flat.
I wonder if he's thinking about trying to get this one. It's 585.
I don't think so. I think he could get a putt, maybe. I never thought of it personally, going up the middle.
Somebody got a putt today.
Somebody did get a putt. But we're not going to spoil it.
Nope. This is the common play you'll see. Out wide. He'll be able to play a spike hyzer from there, or like you said, get creative through the trees low.
Paul McBeth also extremely talented at hitting distance drivers on flat angles, and if you like to do that, this is the direction that you're going to throw this hole. He does just that, rips it flat, gets it turning over, never challenges OB. Perfect landing zone.
Yeah, I got to be thinking that he's going for the green in that situation. Looked like he added an extra little bit of pace to it. It's kind of hard to feel what the wind's doing down by the tee box, though. You're guarded, and all of these guys putting a bit too much turn on their discs.
Yeah, today is a tailwind, so it's really a much easier wind than it could be. Well done from Paul, and that is where I think Paul just has a huge advantage on a lot of players. Nice upshots like that.
Yep. They're no-brainers for him. That guy pretty good as well. Zone from him. Raptor from Uli. Justin, probably an 8-3.
Probably a good enough shot there, but we'll see. This looks good from Colton. So 3 park jobs, and Justin going to be putting. Slightly awkward position in the tree. Paul actually closer. Or further, I mean. That's a good putt there.
Just going to go around the horn, it looks like.
Oh, wow. Justin got up there really close. The closest of the bunch.
Man. Just a little quick. I like following my routine in those situations. Went in, though. Can't fault the guy. Good birdie. Get some momentum going. He is sponsored by Prodigy. It's one of our teammates over there. Hadn't been able to meet him yet, though. Look forward to it. Kid's got some game, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Hole 9, Kev. What is this?
Hole 9, very similar hole to hole 8. This is a par 4 at 613 feet with OB on the right and OB on the left. The OB begins to narrow the further up the fairway you go, so the more distance you try to cover, the tighter the shot will be. Good shot from Colton, but just like the last hole, I mean, I expect everybody on this card to get a birdie. These holes, you can play pretty repetitiously and just continue to nail the shots. They're very repeatable.
Should be able to. You're exactly right. Coming in is the easiest hole on the course. Just don't throw it on I-35 and you get a birdie, basically.
Yeah, I mean, anything up here scores. You could throw it 300 feet off the tee even in mid-range. You could probably go putter. Today we're facing a tailwind, so it's only going to help the disc kind of stay straight. Needs to get down. It was an early release from Paul.
No. Sit.
And he sneaks it inbounds, I think.
Chilling.
That is good enough.
It's way up there, too. We'll have less than 200 in. Okay. Just letting her ride over the road for a little while.
Well done.
Yeah. I-35 goes from Laredo, Texas to past Minneapolis, Minnesota. That road goes so far. It plays right next to the Jones courses. And the country club that you'll be playing tomorrow.
That's right.
Nice tactic shot from Colton. Oh, yeah. Making this look easy.
Yeah, it looked like an A3 from Justin there.
Skipping off Colton's disc. Getting an extra 5 feet, but that's as good as parked. Furthest from the basket, Paul at 17 feet.
That's going to be a near 100%er from him, as he's been doing really good from inside the circle all tour long. And everybody going to be carding a birdie on this hole, as we expected.
Yeah.
And many more to be had coming up on the back nine.
For sure. A couple eagle attempts, possibly, too.
That's right.
Let's have a look at those scorecards. There you have it. Colton and Paul, pretty hot. 6 under apiece. 5 for Paul, 4 for Ulibarri. And Justin getting a couple birdies to end his 9. That's what you want to see. Getting some momentum going into the back. We see Garrett Gurthey shooting some fire. 10 under through 13 holes, and he's got his eagle holes to come.
Ooh, that is a nice pace.
Ben Calloway, Eagle McMahon just getting their round started, but already under par.
That's going to do us.
Yeah, that is.
That is. So thank you guys for joining us for the front nine coverage. We will see you guys on the back nine.